Raymond?
Hi, how are you?
You catch you at a bad time?
No, I was just playing some Legos, playing on my keyboard, doing the things. Some Pokeballs and Dragon Ball Z.
I like your wall art.
Oh, what that is. Is that Pokemon?
Now,
Pokemon.
RJL.
Yep.
Nod your head or blink twice. Are you able to lift up and show below your waist on camera?
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe you. No, please don't do it. No, please.
Oh, God.
Gross.
I'm good. I'm good to go, guys.
Ray is scrambling. He's doing the podcast from his bedroom, which is really cute. It's got
Not my bedroom. It's my son's room.
It's got dinosaurs and Legos and a nice,
pretty cool too.
like a shark. What is that? A shark duvet going on back there. Boys like sharks. That's cool.
No, it's dinosaur.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
cool.
idiot.
Dinosaurs, even better. Don't never lose your dinosaur. It's not cool. The Patriots, they suck. And the wheels have officially fallen off down at Foxborough. Finally, week 15 in the season, people are catching on. We've been saying it for 10 weeks at least. The sports media landscape, of which we have one with us tonight, and Sara Marshall. She has to be on board, even as positive as she tries to be. We'll find out. The rest of them are 100% on board on being out on Jerod Mayo. That's the biggest takeaway from this week. But my question is, will the Krafts have the nuts to do it? And which Kraft? Which Kraft is going to be the one to do it? Not witchcraft. Are they witchcraft?
That'd be cool.
Are you playing World of Warcraft right now, Ray, in your fucking gaming
It's my
chair?
other screen. Yep. It's my other screen right now. So I just want to.
Very cool.
Let's hurry this
Very
up.
cool. You got
Hurry
him.
this up.
Very cool, you nerd.
Go,
So we talked about that. Can the Krafts do it? Do they want to do it? Who could they do it for? Is everybody out on them, including Sara? We'll get to that. Before we do, as we always, let's go to opening takes. Bobby, you're up.
The mainstream New England media are a bunch of dumb assholes. It takes them until week 16 to finally figure out what we figured out from the opening press conference. Jerod Mayo's a phony. We told you that. We told you after the Jaguars game, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. We even told you that the only thing he does well is target lesbian-looking quarterbacks. He goes for them hard, and he does a fine job at that. Other than that, it's terrible, and we need something different, and it's very sad that it takes him to week 16 to figure this out.
We don't have any chance of that trend happening either. Josh Allen, bona fide stud, and Herbert
MVP frontrunner.
Herbert lost that hair. If he still had that hair, maybe.
The trend is over.
Yeah. Ray, your opening take.
Thank you there, Richard. My opening take is this. Robert Kraft can do the greatest thing in the world by firing Jerod Mayo. His son doesn't want him here. The media doesn't want him here. The fans don't want Jerod Mayo here. All he has to do is fire Jerod Mayo. And you already have Mike Vrabel that's coming on board saying, yes, I would be the coach of the New England Patriots. And I bring along an old friend, Josh McDaniels. So it's a no-brainer for Robert Kraft. And I don't know what he's waiting for. Is he waiting for week 18 for the season to finally be over? But hopefully he's in talks with Vrabel, and it makes it happen. This will be a PR fucking goldmine for Robert Kraft if he can do it.
I'd pump your brakes on Mike Vrabel. I think he's got his sights somewhere else, according to Dan Orlovsky. But we could certainly get into that, which we will. I'll switch gears to the Red Sox in their offseason, in particular their refusal to dive into the free agency market and become part of this bigger trend that's going on in baseball that continues the deterioration of baseball. Wrote a blog on it in civilmindsports.com. The deferred payments, we've touched on a little bit on the show. They're out of control. This was sparked by the rumors that the Red Sox, they're not signing anybody. Get that through your head. They're not putting any big money out in the market. They're heavily into the trade market to get some affordable deals to come back here. One being Nolan Arenado, whose deferred payment is to 2041. And there's contracts like that all over the goddamn league from these teams, all these big market teams. No one's deferring shit down in Tampa. They can't afford to do it. But your New Yorks and your LAs, this is the new future of the MLB. It's just one more chink in their armor destroying the sport, which I tend to rant on from every once a month or so. So that'll be my new rant. We'll talk about that when we get to the baseball segment and what the Red Sox are actually doing. It's been quiet since the crochet deal, so we'll see what they have up their sleeve. We've got Pat Scraps with Sara Marshall, as I mentioned, from Musket Fire. 10 questions around the NFL and beyond. Red Sox offseason. We've got a Festivus. This is our annual Festivus. You know how I know that?
Yeah, because you rememred because after I told you today.
Ray sent an email that just said Festivus.
One word email, and we took action, immediate action.
That was his input to the email. It just said Festivus, nothing else.
That's what made his computer crash. Was that
might be a foreshadow for what my airing of the grievances is. We'll find out. Obviously, simplest minds of the week. Welcome to Simple Mind Sports Show Friday Rewind, December 20th, live December 19th. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you watch on YouTube, you're welcome. Extra edition this week, Sara Marshall. If you're listening on your favorite preferred podcast platforms, wherever that is, rate, subscribe, review. Tell your friends, as always, tell your mothers. Tell them about our free newsletter behind the paywall. We will read from ESPN, Athletic, Globe, Herald, give you the synopsis on the biggest stories and our take on that, including at times even Musket Fire, which you can get for free on the interwebs and read the latest that's going on over there at Foxborough. So I ask you, Sara, will Jerod Mayo, welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to it. The number one question on the table: will Jerod Mayo be the head coach of the New England Patriots next year?
Oh God, this is the question of the week. Maybe the question of the season, but definitely the question of the week. My gut. Should we go with my gut? That tells me yes, he will. The reason why is Kraft would have to admit that he was wrong, and the chances of that happening don't feel very high to me. He's really tried to sell Mayo from the beginning. I mean, even at what was it? At one game where he said that he decided 5 years ago that he was going to be the next head coach. So the way that he's been hammering home, like, no, Mayo was the guy. I knew it, and whatever. It just feels the likelihood of him backpedaling now. I just don't see it. I could be completely wrong. We're seeing conflicting reports from virtually every outlet possible that covers the Patriots in New England. So it's hard to say, but if I'm speaking like from what we've seen from Kraft, I'm not there yet. I'm not sold yet that he will do that. It seems like it would be Jonathan that would push him to do that. And if that's the case, then it might be more likely, because he feels like he was a little bit more behind the Belichick firing as well because of their relationship. But
well, this is the crossroads, right? Coming out of the game against Arizona with the very public shot of the Krafts and Johnny Kraft's little green notebook, and them motherfucking the offensive play calling live on television.
yeah,
A lot of speculation coming out of that. And then Jerod Mayo goes ahead and doubles down, throwing his offensive coordinator under the bus about 30 minutes later, which he tends to do every week. This one just caught national attention, but it also caught the local guys' attention. Ray, do we have the Albert Breer?
Yep, I got two of them. So which one do you want?
Let's Breer, who's always got his nose to the
I've covered the league for 20 years. I've never seen a head coach do that. I've seen infighting between offensive coaches and defensive coaches. I've seen infighting between players and coaches. I've never seen a head coach do that. And you guys know how much I think of Jerod Mayo and his potential as a head coach. That was one of the worst moments I've ever seen at the podium from a head coach.
And you think it could cost him his job?
He threw his offensive coordinator under the bus. I think now, like, to me, and again, I haven't heard this, but like, I think now all bets are off. Mike Vrabel is going to be the hottest name on the market. You're going to have one shot at him. There's a potential that you could bring in a whole new offensive system with him. Maybe Josh McDaniels comes with him. If Jerod Mayo thinks that you should be running the ball with your quarterback in that situation, you say that in a coach's meeting 2 or 3 weeks ago. You do not say it up at the podium like that. Like, you are responsible for your entire coaching staff. You're the one who hired them. You have to take accountability. You cannot demand accountability from anyone else in that building if you shirk accountability in a situation like this.
Never seen it from a head coach. One of the worst things you've seen a head coach do before. I mean, scathing words. This is why I say the wheels have officially fallen off. And I was with you, and I probably still am with you, Sarah, in terms of Mayo's job in the building right now is probably safe.
And there was a report that came out today saying that.
From Schefter of all people, that
that
the Krafts were doubling down on Mayo's job is secure.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, Bobby, we've got a little Johnny Kraft situation going on in there. And he's getting the old tingle. And that Arizona game, I mean, coming out of the bye,
I was there too, guys. I was there live.
Wow.
I know.
How was it live?
Well, I have to say the atmosphere is great because I don't know if you guys know this, but outside of New England, Arizona is like a hub for Patriots fans. So we were loud. There was a lot of us there. So that was cool, and it was cool.
When were you loud? Like before the game?
Scott Zolak came out and said pretty much you could hear a pin drop in that place.
Oh,
it was
well,
a very weird atmosphere.
I was over in the Patriots section. I thought we were loud, but
were you like, boo, this guy sucks, get rid of Mayo?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it didn't come through on the television, but it was fine. It was disappointing, but it was cool to be there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to witness that in person.
Yeah. Well, my last time was 2022 Mac Jones, so it's been a rough few years. For me.
Yeah, we're going on a decade here of enjoyable Patriots games to be at.
Yeah.
Last one I went to was Philly with Raymond. It was very enjoyable. Or maybe it was Carolina.
Carolina, even better. When we went to the strip club on a scooter together.
Yes, we did that. But there was also brawls across the entire stadium of massholes taking their shirts off and beating up Carolinians. Anyway, what a tangent there. The possibility of Jerod Mayo not being the head coach has, I think, reached a fever pitch. I think it's very, very real. Coming off that Arizona loss, the public humiliation, the post game, Bobby, and now you have to take on the Bills and then a tough Chargers team. And by then, it may be over, even if Week 18 means nothing to the Bills, which it won't. Josh Allen's going for MVP, and there's a number one seed up for grabs. So they're going to move to demolished by Buffalo twice in 3 weeks, by the way.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that the tipping point might be Week 17 because they moved that game to be like a standalone game on Saturday. So it's like everybody is going to be watching that game on Saturday. And it's kind of similar. I saw someone say it could be similar to the Germany game for Belichick, where it was like everybody was watching it. And that was kind of where that decision from Kraft might have been made that Belichick wasn't coming back. Granted, there weren't many opportunities for the entire NFL fan base to watch the Patriots this year. Obviously, they only had the one Thursday night game, but it might be Saturday if they really don't show up against the Chargers a week after potentially being blown out by the Bills and a week before they get blown out by the Bills. So I don't know. Definitely one to pay attention to, I'd say.
Buffalo's a 4:00 game too, so that's
I know they moved that to a 4:00 game so that they put them in what is one of the Sunday national TV spots to watch them eviscerate the Patriots.
4:15 in Buffalo is like the worst.
Spread's already 14.
It's just
10 degrees. The entire city of Buffalo is going to be lubed up and just bearing down on Mayo.
Yeah, it's the biggest spread in Kraft history, 14 points. It's like a night at Irene's on Tuesday. That's a big spread. Bet the over. Okay, better question, Sarah. Should Jerod Mayo be the head coach of New England Patriots next year?
It's such a loaded question.
It's an easy question, actually.
It's easy,
okay.
Yes or no?
I don't have an answer. I'm here to disappoint. So the reason I'm conflicted is because I don't know that he was necessarily given a great shot this year. I feel that he didn't inherit the greatest team, of course, and moving on from a head coach after 1 year is a move. It's risky. Also, I think that you definitely have to have somebody in mind that you think is going to be an immediate upgrade. Don't know that that's Vrabel, because that's the guy that everybody's talking about. But I don't know exactly. None of us know exactly who's going to be available. But you would assume if they move on from Mayo, they have somebody in mind. They know who they want to bring in. And in that case, it's like, okay, then yeah, if you think he's going to be better or he's going to bring you to the promised land, which is the playoffs and the Super Bowl a lot sooner than Mayo, then go for it. I just think that if they don't have a plan, then don't do it, because if you move on from somebody else that you think is going to be the savior of the team and it ends up yielding the same results, then what was the point? You look worse as an owner if you get rid of multiple head coaches in like back-to-back years or in a handful of years. So it's hard, and I know you guys are going to say no, he can't.
Well, it's almost it's akin to getting rid of the greatest coach of all time without having a plan in place. Almost. It's almost that bad.
Same thing, and I would argue the same thing with Tom Brady, like letting Brady go, and you didn't have a backup plan. You had nothing ready to go after that, and so it's like, of course, we're going to be dealing with the offense that they've dealt with for 4 years, and then you would think that if you were going to let go of a guy like Belichick, that you had somebody in mind. And the allegations are, of course, that Mayo and Kraft were having conversations behind the scenes and getting him ready to be that guy, and he was confident in it. And that's why I say I'm just not sold yet that Kraft is going to be able to throw up his hands and say, I'm sorry, guys, I was wrong. That's taking back a lot of stuff that he has said.
Question for Sarah. So What if you had Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson both saying, yes, I want to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots next year for 2025? Would you then say, all right, Mayo needs to go? Because you have two viable options right there.
That makes it tougher, yeah. The problem, of course, that we have to think about is Vrabel is another former guy coming in, and it's like, is he an upgrade? We have to look at the last 2 seasons also that he had in Tennessee. They weren't great. I do think that the Titans moved on a little bit prematurely. It seemed like they were more concerned about him being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame and then saying that he can't wait to get back there, and that was more of it. But Ben Johnson, the risk there is he's not been a head coach. Obviously, he's a very talented offensive coordinator. His brought Jared Goff to heights that we didn't think were possible, but it's still a risk because he's never been a head coach before. Plenty of coordinators that were highly regarded went on to become head coaches and were fired in 2-3 years. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily what will happen with Ben Johnson, but we don't know. I do think that it's possible an offensive minded coach would be better for Drake May. But again, like, is that Ben Johnson? Is that somebody else? I don't know. I think no matter what they do, it's going to be risky, and it's probably not going to be pretty for a while, even if they get rid of Mayo.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the understatement. Or it might be. I mean, we've talked about this, Bobby. It's a favorable position as a coaching staff the Patriots are at this point in time. So I'll just throw it over to you. Will Mayo be the coach, and should he be the coach?
He certainly shouldn't be the coach. I think, even though I agree with your point, Sarah, he was given a bad shake, but you can look at what he did with what he had. You don't need to have a good roster to set a good culture. He hasn't set a culture. You could say it's gone backwards. They're undisciplined. They're mistake repeaters. They don't look competitive right now. You can compare this team to the Panthers, who have the similar record. The Panthers are taking the Chiefs and the Eagles to the brink every week, and they're full of fight with probably a worse roster. So just in that comparison's sake, they aren't close to being competitive right now. Will he be the coach? I can only hope that what happens in the next couple games almost forces their hand. I don't think he should. Going into my question for them would be, do you trust the Wolf Mayo regime to properly handle this offseason that comes up, where they're going to have $90 million in cap space, a top 3 pick, to be able to turn this franchise around? Because this is the most important offseason in recent history for the Patriots. They could become a viable team next year with the assets and resources they have.
Yeah, I think the biggest indictment of Kraft and Mayo, of Wolf and Mayo, is they were in the exact position last year and have failed basically in every single statistical category imaginable.
Every plan they've laid out has not worked.
And it will be almost identical offseason. Top 3 pick, ton of money, and the bottom of the league with, you have to turn it around. You have to turn your culture around. You have to turn your organization around. And yeah, I mean, I just think Mayo's has proven to be full of shit is the easiest way I can put it. And there's not enough. We had reports that OCs were immediately declining even to get an offer from the Patriots because there wasn't enough, quote, football talk with Mayo and Wolf, which we saw in the first press conference. We're going to make men out of these boys. We're going to start in the locker room. We're not going to degrade them until we build them up, and all of this corporate hoopla bullshit. And we've heard the same tireless crap that fall out of his mouth every week after they get their doors blown off by the same repeat mistakes. So, if you're the Krafts, yes, the biggest reason to keep them is at this point ego. The biggest real reason to keep them is, yes, blowing out a coach after your first year is a real bad look, and it's pretty risky unless you do have a plan. However, I think they've just given us enough evidence that the riskier play is to move forward as currently constituted.
And it'll depend on how much they want to prioritize building around Drake May. I mean, obviously Kraft was a big believer in Mac Jones, whether, hindsight now, that was a mistake. Obviously, we know Drake May is much better. So, but he was there to see what happened with Mac Jones, whether you want to believe it was a talent issue or if it was, the personnel issue of having 3 different coordinators in 3 years and the talent that he was given and whatever. You don't want to see that happen again with Drake May, who clearly looks like he's going to be the long-term solution for them at quarterback, is far more talented than any of the other quarterbacks you've had in since Tom Brady. So if he really wants to ensure that the future is bright for the team and for May, then he's going to have to, the Krafts together are going to have to sit down and really think about it, because that's a risky move too, moving a staff completely away from a quarterback after you drafted him. And I just said, they did that with Mac Jones for 3 years. You just want to make sure, again, as I said earlier, make sure that you're bringing in the right guys this time if you're going to get rid of Mayo, because you don't want to screw up the rookie quarterback that you just got, who should be the face of your franchise, and by doing the exact same stuff that you just did and got you into this situation.
Yeah, they definitely have to have a plan. Do you
think that you're starting to see the cracks in Drake May right now? Because he did come out and say, yeah, I could have ran for that and all that stuff. He's kind of like pushing back at the regime right now, like Jerod Mayo and Alex McCall. Yeah, he's
kind of doing, okay, I hate to say this because, I try to be as PC as possible, but he's kind of doing the Mayo thing too, because he said like, oh, I did a lot of sneaking in college, right? And so you're like, oh, okay, that was noticeable. But then he comes out the next day and is heaping a ton of praise on AVP. So I think he's trying to play both sides. I'm sure what we're hearing after the game, that is the truth of what they're thinking. Same thing with Mayo. That's more of what they actually believe, and then they're doing the cleanup the next day. But I don't blame him. Like I said, I was at the game and I'm just looking at him and I'm like, he's just standing away, and it's like, I don't think that we're at a point where he hates his life or that he was like, drafted by the Patriots or anything. But I felt for him because I'm like, the only guy that shows up every single week on offense, it seems like, that is Drake May. And I'm sure he dreamt about being in the NFL forever. And this is not the situation that he dreamt about. So I can't imagine how frustrating it is. And not knowing what the future is going to hold for him, whether that's in a roster regard or a coaching staff. Like, I don't blame him, honestly.
I do. And it starts from the top. You for 20 years, every player on that team was buttoned up because Belichick was buttoned up. And now you have players and assistant coaches and coaches in the locker room and wide receiver rooms throwing each other under the bus on a 3-win team because that's what their coach does. And that's what a dysfunctional team does. It all starts at your top and it trickles down. Drake May, to his credit, has avoided that most of this season. He let it slip. And to your point, he's not wrong. Look, these numbers I pulled out from Andrew Callahan, some of them are just hilarious. But just to give you an example, they're 30th in both DVOA for offense and defense. They were 9th last year in defense. The regression that side of the ball is unbelievable. Last year, they're bottom 3 on offense. So there's been no improvement there, even though your quarterback play has improved pretty significantly. So, big question mark, where does that go? Right to coaching. 25 points is the single high for the Patriots, which they got with 22 seconds left in their win over the Jets. Every other team in the NFL has scored over 25 points at least once this year. Patriots have not. This one's awesome. 24 touchdowns and 24 fumbles on this season. They have as many fumbles as touchdowns.
That's the best stat of all. That's the best stat of 2024 right there.
They've got a 29.5% pressure rate from their defense, and they're giving up 40.4%, second worst and fourth worst, respectively. There, the numbers speak for themselves. The demeanor speaks for themselves. The record speaks for itself. Not many coaching staffs come back from a season like this. And it's rare for a first-year coach to get canned, but this is the type of structured season where a first-year coach gets canned, especially because you have that asset in Drake May that you should be hyper-focused and critical of not ruining, and you should be really worried about Drake May. But the best thing you have going for him, if you're the Patriots and Patriots fans, is he came from a shitty ACC team in North Carolina, so he's kind of used to just getting his brains beat in and blowing. Last year, North Carolina wasn't very
former
good.
ACC shitty team. Now Bill Belichick's coaching this.
Now the greatest team of all time.
Yep.
I guess my last question here is, where do you place the blame? Mayo's been getting beat down all season long, but I'll just give you my answer to my own question. I think you have to push that to the enablement of the Krafts, specifically Robert. Like you said, pointing it out 5 years ago that he was going to be the guy, gave him the contract behind Belichick's back, which basically just nosedive last season. So agree or disagree, how much of that lands on the Krafts plate in terms of blame? And then how much, where do we turn our lonely eyes to? Is it Jonathan or is it Robert? Is Johnny Boy going to step in here and make the move, or is it still Robert's team to play with? And just give me your thought on the Krafts here for a closing statement.
So I tend to put it on the owners. I would even put quite a bit of blame on Wolf too. And I would say that because he's been in these roles a lot longer, obviously, than Mayo has been in any sort of coaching role. And I'm sure that he came in and was kind of using that veteran experience as a way to be like, okay, I can help lead you. I know how to do this, blah, blah, blah. It's in my blood, like that type of deal. And Mayo may have regrettably leaned into that, thinking like, okay, well, he knows more than I do, so he's going to bring us and do what we got to do to be successful. I put more of it on Kraft, like you eat both Krafts, honestly. I think it's interesting that we're seeing more vocalization from Jonathan, which kind of makes it seem like, is he going to be taking over things a little bit sooner? Obviously, Kraft isn't getting any younger, so maybe he's going to be handing the keys to Jonathan a lot sooner than I think most people anticipated, and that's why he's saying these things, or he seems to care a bit more. And if that's the case, then I think, yeah, Mayo's probably gone. It's not something, it's harder for me to believe that Robert will do that. I feel it's something that'll come from Jonathan. But they definitely deserve the blame, because you thought that they were hitting the reset button after Belichick and all of the terrible things basically that Robert was saying about Belichick and all the control that he had, and he did this and he did that. So you were like, okay, they're gonna try and implement a lot of what Belichick did, but do some things differently. And it's like they did the complete opposite and they forgot everything that Belichick laid the foundation for in New England. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's almost like they spent the last 24 years with their legs kicked up in a bark lounger and just took on the championships and said, thank you very much. And then forced into doing the job. And they're like, ah, shit, I don't know how to do any of this.
And that thing, that the ironic thing about that is the stuff that Robert's been saying, since they let go of Belichick, made it seem like, oh, life was so miserable, blah, blah, blah. And then you see, oh no, you had him do everything. That's what you're proving. He did everything, and it's fine. Maybe you took a step back or you forfeited your power, but it's clear that you don't know what you're doing as a team owner, and you put somebody in a position that also did not know what he was doing, and he was kind of set up to fail. I mean, I'm not taking all blame off of Jerod Mayo, but he was set up to fail. He should not have been a head coach this year. I mean, a lot of people said he had the brain to be a head coach, but the decision to move on from Belichick and the decision to not interview anybody was a huge mistake. So all of this, to me, falls on the Krafts. This could have been so avoided.
Yeah,
and
100%.
They chose to drive right into it.
And
But do you think the Krafts are just trying to do it to prove that they were the ones, the masterminds? It wasn't Belichick because they brought back
Goddamn right
everybody.
they were.
They brought everyone back there, and you have a better quarterback. Drake May is better than Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. You have a better defense than Christian Gonzalez, who is a clear-cut number one cornerback, and yet you're still only at 3 wins. Last year, Belichick had 5 wins. So therefore, what you thought Belichick was what Belichick did last year was way better than what they have now.
Well, and they might not care about it as much now that he's not in the NFL and he will not be coming back to the NFL. I mean, they're not really, I mean, they're going to talk about what he does at UNC, obviously, but it's not going to hold the same weight as Tom Brady leaving and then winning a Super Bowl with the Bucs. You know, it's not the same as if Belichick went somewhere and did that. So maybe that will play a role in Kraft's decision. But again, I think it comes down to ego, and you hype this guy up all season, and then you're going to be at the end of the year, be like, yeah, we were wrong. I don't know.
An ACC championship isn't a big deal.
I think that
no. I'm saying it's not the same is all I mean. Like it would be a big deal for Belichick to do that because of everybody doubting him.
Talk to me on Championship Saturday when Belichick's sporting sticking the flag in whatever center of the field and getting a felony about it. I'll just say this: I am more I am more optimistic that Robert Kraft sees the light than doesn't. Yes, there were certainly emotions in play, and there's certainly ego in play when anything of this goes on. However, their plan was for Belichick to coach 1, maybe 2 more years, get the Shula record, have an insulated program for Mayo to be plopped into with a starting quarterback and Mac Jones in a playoff team ready to go. That fell on their face the second they signed the contract for Mayo to be the next guy behind Belichick's back, and they had to jettison that plan and inject it 2 years early, or a year early at least. So, I think they were caught unprepared, and it's showing now. That's why I have a little bit of optimism that they can take a 10,000-foot view, especially if Jonathan Kraft is as aggressive as we think he's going to be, and go, you know what? That was an interim year. That's on us. My bad. All of you, get the fuck out. Mike, let's go.
But I do have one question for you guys, because everybody's talking about Vrabel and the Josh McDaniels stuff. I don't know your guys' opinion on Josh McDaniels. It is very, very stretched out, it seems, amongst Patriots fans. Would you guys be okay if it was Vrabel and McDaniels and not bringing in an outsider?
Yep.
The perfect scenario for how dysfunctional it is. And to your point, the risk of Ben Johnson is massive. We know Vrabel is a bona fide coach. He took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship. He can coach my team and bring him back from the depths of hell anytime you want. Your biggest threat with him is their offensive coach getting successful and leaving. That's never happening with Josh McDaniels.
No,
and we know he can be an OC in the league. We know he can be an OC in New England. It's the perfect marriage in my mind. But everything I'm hearing is Vrabel's basically already taken the Ohio State job, so that might be
no. See, then that's the concern that I would have, is like, you just want to make sure that if Kraft goes about it, they bring in the right guy, because we do not want to deal with this kind of stuff for another however many years, you know.
Vrabel's already proven it, like you said, Rich. Vrabel's already proven it that he can coach in the NFL. Mayo didn't have that track record. He never had the defensive coordinator label. So I think
he didn't. He's never coached before.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's perfect.
Worked on staffs. He went to Ohio.
I don't even know what he did.
He's never coached a team ever.
And Vrabel basically said he wanted to come back. I mean, he was still the Titans head coach.
The Hall of Fame, and they were bumping elbows. Everyone's like, Mike Vrabel's the next coach. And then it's Mayo, and we find out, they signed that deal 2 years ago. We're like, what is happening? Vrabel was in your lap. You gave him a red jacket. It was perfect. They screwed up. God, they screwed this whole thing up.
And
be wary of the Vrabel thing with Ohio State. He could just be using it as leverage for NFL teams. That's the way leverage works.
Leverage him to $20 million fucking dollars to come here and fix it. I don't care.
Well, and they have to hit on it quick, as you guys were saying, because if Vrabel isn't hired by Kraft, he's going somewhere else, and you're not going to get to see him for another 5 years at least, you would assume, unless he tanks it. And
he's going to go to the Jets, and they're going to piss all over.
I would die. I would jump off a roof. Okay.
You're wearing the Jets colors right now, so is there?
You know what? This is Christmas green. This is Christmas green. I am offended.
Sorry,
okay?
I apologize.
Yeah.
We don't say Christmas on the show.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining us in this heated debate. Everyone, I think, is on edge with the Patriots and Mayo, and it's more of a fearful, like, bated breath. Just
fear
do the right
unknown.
thing. Yeah,
Fear
if
of
they
the
just
unknown.
roll it back, they can't just roll it back. So there should be something coming. But before that, we're gonna watch them get their ass waxed by the Bills. By about 50.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
That one should be a fun one to write about, huh?
I love, and be forced to watch.
Yeah.
As a
Something
fan,
positive.
I changed the channel. Like even at the Arizona game, I'm like, if I were watching this at home, I would have changed the channel.
You're in the
But I'm like,
stands.
I
I don't want
can't
to
change the channel here. Yeah. So
I did.
yeah.
Well, everyone check out Sara at musketfire.com. You pump those things out every day. I see like 3 or 4 things pop up. So
I
Take
try.
notes, Bobby.
Whoa.
Sara, thanks for joining us. We're gonna kick it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you there, Richard. Oh, hold on. Let me give you a solo view. Sorry.
I got you.
New computer. No.
Go ahead,
Oh,
baby.
thanks, baby.
I got
Nope.
Got
All right. You gonna stop? All right. The Bruins started their Canadian West Coast trip, beating Vancouver and Calgary. They play Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers tonight at 9 p.m. The NBA Cup is over, and the Milwaukee Bucks are your champions. They defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 97-81.
Cool.
Giannis
Lava lamp.
Antetokounmpo, was MVP. Yeah, he masturbates in here and fucking puts that thing on.
Hey,
The
man,
Celtics have played one game in the past week due to
paper
the NBA
towels
Cup.
are right behind you. Next to
Yeah,
his
the
bed.
napkins are fucking right on my feet. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's jizz on there. They beat the Wizards on Sunday and play host
recorder?
to the Chicago Bulls tonight at 7:30. What was that?
Is that a recorder?
Porter?
Or is that your
Recorder.
mother's?
Yes.
Is that your
that's my
mother's
dildo.
toy?
No,
Okay.
it's Kelly's toy. After trading for the left-handed pitcher Garrett Crochet, the Red Sox have done nothing, absolutely nothing. And finally, Jerod Mayo's New England Patriots traveled to Arizona, where Jonathan Kraft and the rest of
And
the
this
New
has
England
been headlines with the obvious.
one.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no
I
point
don't like how you have
in
control of
your
this.
rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, let me get off of my fucking fat face. There you go.
I got you. Oh, no.
God damn it, stop, Rich. You don't produce. Just fucking sit there, you son of a bitch.
I do not. I should not be trusted with this power. We fucked up that headlines. I will give you that one. But you doing it in a child's
I
bedroom,
thought it did great.
It's going to get us in trouble. The FAA is going to call us. Somebody's going to call us. What is that guy
What's the
doing?
flight guy going to do?
Whatever it is.
I
Bobby,
can't wait till your
10
son finds
questions.
out that you're in his room. He's gonna be, "Okay, Mom, why did you let him in my room again?"
Mom, my jizz pals are all over the place, Ma.
Dad's doing my thing.
Now the whole internet's seen my room.
Damn it.
Yeah, really embrace privacy there. I'm dealing with a hell of a cold, just so you know. Just powering
We're all
through.
dealing with shit, okay? I got a canker sore going on.
Those are called herpes, Bobby.
I'm aware.
10 questions from around the NFL and
Been
beyond.
with Ray's mother, it's obvious.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bobby. Let's
everyone's
go.
got them. Even Ray, it's hereditary.
Mhm.
All right. Well, here we go. Is Puka Nacua a top 3 receiver in the NFL?
No.
He's close.
Probably doesn't
He
have the
might be
track
3 or
record.
4.
Jefferson had a downish year.
You asked for 3. You said 3. I'd give you Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Who'd be number 3?
Give me somebody better.
He just
And I'm
did,
picking.
he just did it to
Might
himself.
be 3.
All right, Puka's a top 3 NFL.
Maybe.
Boom. Suck it, Langevin. This one's inspired by you, Ray. Are the mounting injuries too much for the Lions to overcome this year?
Oh, because of that beautiful fucking picture I sent you guys, and you guys are all idiots and didn't know what I was talking about. They have 22 people on IR right now. That is a lot. They are going to get defeated in the playoffs. They're not going to make it to the Super Bowl.
The picture you're talking about was a screenshot of IR injured players with no context or language or words underneath. It was just a screenshot.
See, you think I'm retarded like half the time, but I think like I'm honestly thinking that you're the retard. I'm not. I think I'm a fucking genius and that you just can't handle fucking seeing this stuff and comprehending in that little dull brain of yours over there with that bee on your head. You know, you just can't figure it out. I'm the genius. You're the dumb one.
That room has really got you off the handles with the hard R's.
It's very hard.
Also,
it's very hot in here. I'm sweating profusely in here.
Every
That's 'cause
every
he's
moron
naked in the
believes
room. That's why the heat's up.
every catastrophic moron believes that they're the smartest guy in the room. Your
I never said I
skills
thought it was.
are-
I'm just saying
are
maybe you're the
elementary.
dumb one. Maybe you're the dumb one, not me.
Not like, hey guys, check out this. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this like, wow, nothing, just a fucking screenshot. Like it was a mistake. What do you want me to do with this?
I'm
Cool.
gonna send you a dick pic next time. Go ahead, Bobby. Next one.
At least that'll have context and pubes.
Exactly. It'd be like, look, here's a really ugly.
Spoiler
looking-
alert: no pubes.
Should the Panthers give Bryce Young another shot next year?
Yes, because as you can see, the
No, they
coaching staff,
shouldn't. He blows.
the coaching staff fucking ruined that kid. Let's see what he can do with a real coaching staff in there.
He's a little turd.
Yeah, he's a
He needs to
pipsqueak.
be flushed down the toilet, and then the toilet needs to get flushed in the ocean.
He's a wing wang. I've been using that a lot lately, Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. A little wing wang.
They got a top 3 pick. Draft another quarterback. Give it another shot.
Yeah, exactly. Trade him. He's a bum. Adam Silver looking into critiques of increased 3-pointers ruining the NBA. Should they make a change?
Yes.
They absolutely should fucking fuck you, Ray.
Yeah, right. Shut up. This is you are the internet boy, and this is all over NBA internet. The 3-pointer has ruined the game. Ratings are down. What kind of rule changes?
It has ruined it. Steph Curry is an asshole. He is a piece of shit, and he single-handedly ruined the NBA because he's a
Steph's
little
fault.
weak
It's everybody
nerd.
else's
He
fault.
couldn't play real basketball, so he decided to shoot threes. He's a pussy, and he ruined the NBA. Fuck Steph Curry.
No, Steph's the man. It's everyone else who thinks that they're Steph, like Joe Mazzulla, who's also
There's college teams now that I was watching a college game the other day and they shot 49 threes. Like they averaged 40 threes a game.
It started in college. It started in that D school that shot nothing but threes. They shot 100% threes the whole game. That was their philosophy. That's where that whole thing started 10 years ago. So, but they should make a rule change. They can do it very quickly. Allow hand checking, get rid of defense for 3 seconds. Easy.
Bingo.
There goes your 3 points. 3
Easy
pointers.
peasy.
Done. Here's one for you. If you have a wet dream about another woman, is that cheating?
I've never had a wet dream.
What?
Never?
You never had a wet dream?
No,
You're
I
a
thought I pissed the bed the first
dream
time I did it.
virgin.
every morning, Statue of Liberty, but never busts.
Really?
Wow.
No. That's the
What
subconscious
are you
control
dreaming
right
about?
there.
Wow.
Yeah, what do you, dudes?
Just night terrors of your mother's ass.
Walked into that one. Damn it.
So
Go
there
ahead,
you go.
Bobby. Yep, go ahead, Bobby.
Whatever. Should the
Well,
Cowboys?
wait. Well, you didn't answer the question. No, it's not cheating.
Neither did either of you.
No, it's not cheating. I just said it. It's
course
not
not.
cheating.
Of course not.
Fine. Whatever. It's not cheating. Should the Cowboys trade Micah Parsons?
No.
Yeah, they should trade fucking everybody. They should trade Dak. They should trade the CD. They should blow it up. They should trade Jerry Jones if they can, and they should start the whole thing over.
They should
Micah
trade.
Parsons-
They could get 2 or 3 first rounders for that moron. They should trade him.
Yes, you should absolutely trade Micah Parsons. And they're not defensive players are not big enough difference makers, but people get stupid over that shit because he's a name. Trade him.
Immediately.
You sold me. Trade him.
Better Christmas movie, Christmas Vacation or Home Alone?
Oh, Malone.
What do you
If say
expect?
If you say Christmas Vacation, I'm gonna fucking.
Of course
buy a
it's
plane
Christmas
ticket.
Vacation.
It's a way better movie than Home Alone.
They're
Home
fucking
Alone's a good
adults.
You
movie.
guys are.
Home Alone's a
fucking
good
dumb.
movie. Christmas Vacation's better.
Look at how do you expect from the guy with the dinosaur sheets behind him?
Yeah, I know.
Fortnite, motherfucker.
I think he
It's
is
Fortnite.
Home Alone right now, and that's why he's in his son's room because he doesn't.
He
let him
watches
in there.
Home Alone in June. Ray loves Home Alone.
Nope. I only start watching
Christmas
Home Alone after
Vacation.
Thanksgiving.
What are you going to do with that huge tree? Bend over and I'll show you.
Christmas
Sure,
Vacation
Cole.
is the best Christmas movie.
It's great. It's great. But it's not Home Alone. Home Alone's better.
Well, you're a child, which is
Thank you.
why you send
That's why I'm in my
screenshots
child's
without
room.
any fucking context or language to it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys a fan of the new NBA All-Star tournament?
Nope. Abolish all the NBA All-Stars. Any All-Star, I don't watch. It's not fun. It's just dumb.
For it. First time they did the
you
rule change.
fucking cunt.
That first year when they had to get to certain points, they played very hard. Actually, Kemba Walker got hurt. They played so goddamn hard. In the overtime, it was a competitive fourth quarter in all those games with the best players in the world. You make the rule changes, it sparks competition. That's all you're looking for. Good.
Yeah. It's
Let's see
better
more.
than it was before. That's all I can say. How many points do the Bills win by on Sunday?
69. Nice.
It's gonna be like 10. Like honestly,
Oh, way more than 10.
9-49 or something. It's like
Thank you.
It's probably a 40-point spread.
Yeah, I think the Bills drop a 50 burger on them, and it's probably a 36 points, 35 points.
They're going to downshift the entire second half. They'll put up 41 in the first half and then maybe 10 in the second.
Who's their backup quarterback?
No idea.
He'll have 3 touchdowns.
Trubisky?
He'll have
I
3
think
touchdowns
it's
by the end of
50,
the game. Yeah.
He's not a lesbian, right?
We'll find out.
Is the backup quarterback for the Bills lesbianish at all? That's the only chance to make this thing under 40-point spread.
Trubisky, no, he's not lesbianish.
Damn it.
I know. It's too bad. What'd you get Ray's mom for her birthday?
Bag of dicks. We'll be right back with some Red Sox offseason. Thank you very much. Quick pull there in the child bedroom today. Wants to get this over with. You got a text, Dad. I'm almost home.
No,
Yeah, exactly. Game ended short.
No. So what time is it? 8:40. No, he's still probably getting his ass kicked.
Do they have one of the color-coded clocks in there where you can pay attention to where the hands are moving? Hour hand is at the 8. Minute
what?
hand is at the 4.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Children's clocks. You're in a children room.
No,
Do
he's
you
12.
know how to tell time, or are you straight digital?
He has hair. He has hair on his nether regions now. He's good.
Why do you always keep bringing back to him? This is you are in the child's
in his
bedroom.
fucking room.
I'm not making fun of a boy. I'm making fun of you for looking
You're
like
so
a boy.
thrown off being in his room. You are nowhere close to yourself.
I'm glad I didn't take an edible because there's a fucking a thing spinning around in here and colors changing all the time. I'm like, oh god, this would be like.
He usually shoots his load on it and watches the colors.
Watch the colors go by. Red Sox offseason, hush down or you'll spook them. They might do something. Obviously the Garrett Crochet deal we talked about. The latest rumors, they are if you read the rumors, they're in on Bregman. I'm here to tell you they're out on Bregman. They're not getting Bregman. Latest report
Bill
is
sold me on that one. Bill sold me today on that one. They're definitely not going in on Bregman. Not you.
Bill did it?
Not you.
Okay.
Not you. Bill.
Okay, no problem. Baseball,
Suck it,
Bill.
bitch.
Billy baseball. 6 years, 100. Who just echoed everything I fucking said. 6 years, and $187 million is what they're looking for. They're not going to give a 30-year-old declining statistical third baseman that money. The nerds are not, and the management's not going to go to 6 years at 187. They are out on Bregman. Still in play. The trade for Nolan Arenado, who just declined a trade to Houston to continue to see what the market does. He's owed $75 million over 3 years. St. Louis wants to keep, will negotiate to keep up to $25 million. That's a little bit more Red Sox speed. Arenado, 33 years old. Again, the statistics are dipping, so not consistent there from the nerds. However, he's cheaper on a shorter deal. So that's what the Red Sox make their decisions on these days. The contract. Sounds like the Krafts. So we'll see if they get to that Arenado deal, which we'll come back to in his deferred payment, which took me on my little rant at the opening today and on my spiral today into the MLB deferred payments being another reason why baseball is just so stupid. Before that, the real rumor for the Red Sox is the trade that inevitably should happen with the Mariners. A lot of smoke there. Should be a lot of fire. Basically revolving around Luis Castillo, the starter who went 11-12 with 3.64 ERA, 175 strikeouts, over 175 innings pitched. Good professional starter would slot into your number 2 guy in the rotation if you're the Red Sox. He's got 3 years left on a $20 million deal as well. So right there in the ballpark of what they're willing to pay for at this time in stage of the career. This is from.
You do have an inside source for the Mariners. Have you not reached out to the Queen and asked her opinion on the Mariners making this trade?
She's dead to me. Jackson Roberts from Sports Illustrated has said a frequently posed mock trade to this point has been Castillo for Kristen Cassis. The Red Sox looking first baseman. Both sides have recently poured water on that idea. Ever told you I put some water on that story?
No, please do.
Please do.
Do you want a solo view of this?
No, this will be better if you're all here for this.
Okay.
I was taking a really nasty poo in a public bathroom. I forget which maybe a gas station, not too sure. And a large man of the black nature came in and It was stinky. It was very, very stinky. And he opened the door, and immediately the door opens like, "Cring!" He goes, "Oh, boy, you gotta put some water on that shit." And I knew what that meant until it means like you're supposed to flush it to get the stink out, like get a little courtesy flush.
Yeah.
But ooh, boy, you better put some water on that shit. You can use that.
That's just ingrained in you. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, boy, you better put some water on that shit. I was like, I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Rough day.
Here's the deal that may get done. Red Sox receive Luis Castillo. Mariners receive Willie Abreu and prospect infielder Mickey Ramiro. The Red Sox get their number 2 starter to slot behind Garrett Crochet, and the Mariners get a pair of lefties that could wind up long-term solutions for them at positions of problem. Seattle continues to struggle to find takers for Castillo. This feels like a reasonable package for the Red Sox to settle on. Your mother settled on my package last night. Couldn't resist that one. Sorry. So there you go. Hernandez. Oscar Hernandez is still out there looking for a bigger deal, but the Red Sox are still in on a starter, whether it be Luis Castillo or someone else, a reliever, a right-handed bat, and a backup catcher. The report is Craig Breslow has been as aggressive as anybody in the MLB in terms of trades in previous years coming from rival GMs. So seems like they're making calls and they can't land deals.
Story of their lives.
Yeah. To this MLB deferred salaries thing, Bobby, feel free to chip in because you didn't like this when Ohtani got his deal deferred by like
it's stupid.
Quite literally $1 billion. Let me just read this. This is directly out of a well-written blog on SimplesMindSports.com. Please go there and check that out. It reads, "These deferred contracts are fucking ridiculous. Nolan Arenado was deferred to 2041. The Mets are paying Lindor to 2041. The Red Sox owe Chris Sale to 2039. The Dodgers will be paying for Freddie Freeman till 2040. The Dodgers, the biggest abusers and culprits of this tactic, deferred nearly all of Shohei Ohtani's $700 million contract, $680 million to be correct, to the point where he's only on the books for $2 million a year against their luxury tax for the entire 10-year deal he signed. $680 million will be paid out between 2034 and 2043. This is not new. It's just becoming the norm for these big market teams. You notice all of these names are either in LA, New York, or Boston because you do, in baseball, you do need that sum of money. You need to have that sum of money. You just don't need to give it to the player immediately. So they just put it in an escrow account, a high-yielding escrow account. So it's 2024. In 10 years, that's $680 million that they have to pay Ohtani. And that escrow account's going to sit there for 10 years. They're going to make fucking money on that thing before they pay him out the $680 million. That's just called economics, baby. Simple minds. You can do that math real quick if you want. That's not how you do sports. How are teams supposed to compete? That's ridiculous.
Two things real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think Bill will be alive by the time that Ohtani gets paid out?
Yeah, I think Bill's immortal.
Nope. Nope. The answer is no. And secondly,
no too.
Secondly, do you know that the Dodgers have already made their money back on Ohtani with the signing after winning the World Series? I believe they were worth like something like $6 billion. Now they're worth $7 billion. So they already made their money back on this guy.
Yeah, but that's like as an organization, like certainly that's true. I'm not saying that's not true, but they will quite literally dollar for dollar make money on that $680 million in that escrow account over 10 years before they have to pay a dollar back to him. That $680 million will be, I don't know, you're going to gain 10% just on an S&P over 10 years. Do the math. Like it's not.
Bobby's getting hard right now when you're talking money like this.
I know. Banker Bobby is just like.
Banker Bobby's just like, oh my God. Honey, we're going to have another one tonight, baby. Let's go.
I'll take that account. It's such a deterioration to competitive balance in a professional sports league. Like, no shit, the Pittsburgh Pirates owner just like sits there and collects cash from New York and the Dodgers and doesn't pay for anything. Like, what do you want me to do? Put $1 billion? You want me to show you $1 billion and then just let it sit for 10 years? I don't have $1 billion, bro. Like, you give me $100 million every year just to keep the fucking team. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have to fix it. It's like money in politics. It'll never be fixed, but it's the sole reason why baseball is what it is. And it sucks.
Baseball is the dumbest sport in America right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It can be fixed. They could fix it, but they just won't. And I don't know how much longer it can continue to go on this way.
Bobby, so you're saying hockey's better than baseball?
Yes.
Did you get the Native
Hockey's still a
Americans?
viable sport and a viable season. It just has, for lack of a better term, a niche following. I don't think it's going to like grow big, but it's also never going to go small either.
Native
Is
Americans.
your favorite team the
love
Blackhawks?
No, but his mother's favorite team is the Blackhawks.
I see what you tried to do there. You just didn't execute. Good for you.
Yeah, that's
That
that's
was
a
a good
lot.
one.
That's a lot. That's a nice lead into our next segment, which is Festivus for the rest of us, Simple Minds, airing of grievances.
A new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us. And at the Festivus dinner, you gather your family around and tell them all the ways they have disappointed you over the past year.
And is there a tree?
No, instead there's a pole. Requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
Well, that free version there, did you, Bray?
I had to share the free version. Yeah, I'm sorry. Apologies. There's one thing for you. There you go.
That whole watermark free version on that Wonder film one. Nothing but the best here at SimpleMindSports.com. Ray, seeing as you're in a child's bedroom, why don't you start with your airing of grievances? Go ahead.
Thank you. My first airing of the grievances is how Bobby drinks anything. If you ever watch Bobby, he drinks water, beer, anything. He does this little. I'll show you.
Side of the mouth move.
I only do that with water
and cum. I don't like it.
and cum.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's my first airing of the grievances. I don't like how you drink things.
I don't like how you can't do anything right and you're all blurry right now. Take your fucking camera off auto goddamn Zoom. God damn it. I got mine out.
Since we're airing personal grievances, I don't like it when Ray tries to gaslight you in a text message, and then when you fucking roast him, disappears like a bitch.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Never. King of disappearing. Just goes silent when he knows he's a defeated man. There he goes. He's gone now. He's gone. He does not stay in the fight when he knows he's a defeated man or doesn't want to fight anymore. He just goes away. He goes away.
I don't like
It's
how you're
probably a
shitting on me
healthy
right
habit,
now.
but
I
you're
don't like how
pussy.
you're shitting on me right now.
Here's mine. Shitty communication between colleagues. I'm not saying this is about anyone in particular here. It's just a very pet peeve of mine that I deal with on a regular basis, specifically around schedules. If you're going to fucking change the schedule, just do it with adamant of time and clear, decisive communication with what you're going to do. Context, intro, body, conclusion. Make it clear. If you're not on the phone with somebody and you're using a fucking text and I can't read your mind through a digital behavior, make it clear.
I'll go. Thank you. Rich being a time Nazi, his biggest pet peeve is 24-hour notice, yet he still likes to call out on the spur of the moment. With,
Tell me when that's ever happened. Spur of the moment.
When were you, what were you doing when we were having meetings with Hassam?
Getting my teeth ripped out, which I told you a fucking month before?
No, Bobby.
He has diabetes.
Diabetes?
That's also on my list. Diabetes are a pet peeve of mine.
Go ahead.
And just so we're clear, I told you about getting my teeth ripped out quite literally a month before. I'm not going to make those meetings. Would you like to change them? No, I'll handle it myself from my fucking desk where I can't talk and I'll just bob my head. So
go like
fuck
this.
You.
That's
called clear, concise communication, cunt. Next.
Bobby, go ahead. You haven't said anything.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. Speaking of coworkers, okay, my peers are the biggest group of douchebags. These people. So
we
it's
moved
a
off.
company.
Sorry, just
no, not you.
Oh, well, maybe me.
I mean, it's still actually it fits that statement,
sure.
but no,
Okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
apologies.
Sorry.
Listen, it worked for a big company. There's a process. Everybody has a role to play. It's all very simple. We don't have to be and do everything and make everything as cunty as possible. These people are annoying, and I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like the corporate world where people try to make themselves feel more important because their jobs are insignificant.
Yeah,
that's a very frustrating thing to deal with.
That's a good way to put it.
Now, if you're the only plumber in an entire organization, you get a desk.
You are important.
You are important, and you get a desk.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Kudos to you, Ray. What
else
you got?
Can I get Bobby not being honest with us? Every Monday when we do the show snapshots, there's a male hooker in the parking lot, and he always says, "Oh, I'm just looking behind my shoulder to see what this guy's doing."
You mad at me? You mad at me, Raymond?
Be honest with us, Bobby. You're trying to fuck this guy or get a little blowy. Just be honest with us. I want you to be honest with us.
Are you kidding me?
just wanted you to be honest with us, Bobby.
My game is pretty solid.
Are you fucking that guy?
He is starting to be Bobby's overconfidence in his game. He thinks that 23-year-old millionaires Jalen Polk can't go get tailed down in Miami, but he's pulling, side of the road fucking trailer trash into his Hyundai Elantra to get a blowy whenever he wants. It's like, come on, man.
He's like, Bobby's like, hey, it's over. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll give you a couple quick hitters. Tailgaters, always been a real pet peeve. Get off my ass. Bitter coffee, that's a new one.
Tailgaters doesn't mean like people riding your ass.
Yeah,
I thought you meant people that went to like tailgate games. I'm like,
people tailgate you when there's like 8 cars in front of you. Like I'm not the one slowing you down. So why are you a foot behind me?
Yeah. Bitter coffee. This one I don't like. I just don't like strong bitter coffee anymore. Male pattern bottleless. For the masses doesn't necessarily affect me. Cold weather without snow. I don't like that. Like being wet and cold without actually snow.
Did you say the male pattern ballness doesn't affect you?
Oh, it's just for like that's more speaking to the masses.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten real sick of people calling Drake May Josh Allen. Seeing as he's won one game in the NFL, can we pump the brakes on that? Jalen Polk.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Ticket prices. It's getting fucking outrageous. You can't even go watch a sporting event anymore because the ticket rate, like you can go see a ticket price and you say, oh, it's $100, but then by the time you go to the cart, it's like $350 because of all the fucking fees and all that bullshit. That's really grinding my fucking gears. The way my wife buys a pool, a trampoline, and everything that the kids want to do, but still hates being home because she is getting quote unquote stir crazy. That really fucking pisses me off. Like we bought this fucking house. This is why we got this house, is so we can fucking hang out here and fucking do shit, but yet you want to always leave. That's fucking bullshit. Let's see. These food delivery prices, that fucking pisses me off. I have nowhere that's going to deliver food, so I have to use fucking DoorDash all the time. And by the time I get a fucking pizza, it's $43 later. And it's like, God damn it, I want a fucking pizza. I don't want to leave my house because I'm fucking high or I'm drunk. And I just want a fucking goddamn pizza delivered to my goddamn door. Just fucking bring it over here. And $43 later for a fucking pepperoni pizza. Oh, that pisses me off. Losing my gallbladder and now having constant diarrhea. It's like having a booby trap and never knowing when it's going to explode. That really fucking pisses me off right now. What else do I got here? Robert Kraft, Jerod Mayo, and Elliot Wolf for ruining my Sundays from September to December. You guys fucking suck. Really fucking hate you guys for that. That's about it.
There you go. You got anything to cap it off there, Bobby?
Yeah, I hate watching big fat fucks eat big fat lunches. It's disgusting. Watching it's
what
like a full dinner. Like these people, they'll get like a full fat burger and French fries and eat it for lunch. And when you see them eat breakfast, like 3 hours later,
from where, Bobby? Where, Bobby?
Disgusting.
I want to know what was the cheese that they had on
personally
that burger?
Offending and turning on Ray at the same time.
Yeah,
I can go for a Five Guys right now.
Big fat, disgusting,
really
and herpes. It's terrible.
The herpes is tough to deal with. Loud chewing is always been a bad one. Like I can't be around people who chew.
My daughter does that. She chews with her mouth open. And I just like. Ugh.
I mean, she's a kid. Like, but you get an adult.
She's 7. She's 7 now. She's not. She's like almost an adult.
You can basically smack that out of her at this point.
Yeah, I think I should.
Big fatzos suck. Not you, Ray. We'll be right back. Anybody else? Bobby? Going once, going twice. That was the airing of grievances for
my wife.
You got her. You got that. You were pretty.
I'm just putting her in there in general.
Okay. We'll be right back with Simplest Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
But I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
Speaking of
mouse, he has a mouse, and this just makes everything so much fucking easier. Oh my god! I might have to just take this computer from him.
So the podcast studio has now moved up to your.
Yeah, why don't you just start doing the show in his room all the time?
Little
Because
boy
you
from-
don't want to see him fucking jacking off on his phone.
We've
Jesus.
we've hit the quota on young
Masturbations?
masturbation
Sorry.
references. Please, thank you. That's enough of
Apologies.
All right, here's the only thing I got. Because you guys prefer.
You didn't ask us for anything. You just fucking throw out an email.
Oh, you're right. You know what? You're right. We've
I know the
only
airing
been
of
doing
grievances
show
is over.
5 seasons. Bobby's only been a part of it 2
The
seasons.
airing of grievances with the last segment.
No
It's
big
over.
deal.
It's over.
No
But
big
I'm just
deal.
saying, you didn't
I
ask us
guess
for anything.
We haven't ended the show like this every single fucking time, but that's fine. My mistake. Here's the title: Mosh Pit Nappy designed to avoid queues at Big Lou's sells out. This was clearly a headline from the Brits. Lou's being toilets. Basically, this is a mosh pit diaper. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it on the screen right now. Called the Liquid Death Pit Diaper. Pretty sick. Here's the description of this mosh pit diaper. Black pleather accessory includes metal studs and chains and prevents bathroom breaks from spoiling a concert. An adult incontinence nappy. Is that what they call it in the UK? They call diapers nappies?
A nappy.
An adult incontinence nappy designed for concert goers to avoid long queues at toilets has gone on sale. The limited edition pit diaper, specifically for mosh pits and music gigs, was available for $75 before selling out. Now you can avoid having to brave the hellscape that is the new pit diaper, adding it helps fans relieve themselves in safety of the mosh pit. Drummer Ben Kohler, who wears the diaper in a promotional video, has commented on X about the media attention it has received. Quote, crotch thrusting in a leather diaper in Chicago local news definitely wasn't on my 2024 bingo card. Life is ridiculous. You guys buying one of these? Yes or no?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I like the idea of not having to go wait in long lines to leave an event like that. I think that the idea is actually a good idea.
With your diarrhea problem, Ray, you are the number one candidate for incontinence nappies.
Yeah. It's actually it's a good idea.
And if you get a little style in it with the studs and such.
I like playing Russian roulette. You're gonna shit your pants and go home early, or you're just gonna.
You just said you didn't 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, you said that was on your.
It sucks. It's a curse, but also a blessing because I
You'll
can
get
go
there.
home.
You'll get there.
No, because you can just go home. Because who's ever gonna say you can't go home because you just shit your pants? Like if you're at work and you shit your pants, they're gonna say go home.
A good hard ass boss shouldn't. That's not his problem. That's your
And
problem.
obviously, the first time.
I mean, you're the only plumber there, so they baby you.
And have a desk. I just want to throw that out there. So
And they figure this guy knows shit. Like there's something wrong here.
Yeah,
He wouldn't
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
After the third time, though, they got.
Have you ever gone into a bathroom and just like seen all the stalls taken and just go, "Fuck"?
Better put some water on that shit. This has been the Simba Sports Show, Friday Rewind, December 20th, live Thursday, December 19th.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Birth.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Kwanzaa.